What's up, everyone? Guy here with Minority Thinker. Hope you all doing well. Now, if you're new to my channel, if you like this content and support me, please do like and subscribe to my video. At any rate, let's get straight to the point here. As you all may or may not be aware, or maybe you snooze off the crypto space for a little bit, but I wanted to make this video because I want to bring your attention to what is happening to crypto right now, and specifically Bitcoin and some of the stable coins. Okay, it looks like past 3 months took a massive slide, almost close to look like candlelight down here. 61% past 3 months, guys. That is massive. Okay, now it basically passed the $20,000 mark, and it's not looking pretty. You probably already heard all the headlines. Obviously started with Terra, Luna crashing, Celsius freezing the count, 3 arrows, etc., etc. You read up all about that, okay? And it created this massive wave here of crashing waves, okay? Just give you some chart analysis, and I think how far it will go, and if another major event, which I'm going to tell you about, if you're thinking about buying on the dip, I would cautiously. If I was you, I would cautiously reconsider my buying on the dip. I know there's going to be intraday, up and down, day trading in and out, that to cash out, 5 to 10% per se, as a rebound after a historic low. Okay, so I would cautiously buy in, and you got to be really nimble to do to buy on a dip at this time. Okay, but anyway, I did this line here from all-time high to about when it dipped in January. Okay, obviously, let me do a disclaimer. Okay, Bitcoin, I'm a long-term Bitcoin optimist. I'm a fan of Bitcoin technology. I want to put that out there. Okay, I like the technology of Bitcoin. I think it's a revolutionary in the future. Okay, but during the time, I think the future, when regulators come in, then that will solve a lot of what the issues of Bitcoin right now, or crypto space in general, is that there's no regulators. It's kind of like a Wild West. And I had a hunch about it when I came back into the space. Obviously, I bought some Bitcoin back in, you can go back to my video, I believe it was 2018, around here. That's when I bought some of the Bitcoin. And I basically held it for a long time, still holding it. That's my long-term play. But I got back into this range right here, right after the peak of, the COVID. Buy and sold. But right now, I am all out, aside from, my long-term hold back in 2018. But anyway, I'm in and out, but I'm basically out around this price here. I took a loss, basically. I bought it high, took a loss down around here. But anyway, when it dipped past this resistance, 41, I sold. It broke this line here at around 31. I sold that as well. Okay, so I sold. And a lot of folks would be like, oh man, you're selling a loss. Diamond Hand. We'll read up about Diamond Hand, some of the massive amount of losses they got on the Diamond Hand. Okay, Diamond Hand is it's a jargon. Okay, if you're an investor, you're an opportunist, you have to maximize your returns and also minimize your loss. Minimize your loss, maximize your return. That goes a long way. I mean, you don't want to hold something that it's keep going down. But anyway, obviously, I bought some here. Now it's hitting that the previous high, at around 19,000. Okay. So now I'm still, break even 4 years later. Okay. Anyway, I drew this line, and I think this is where potentially it could go down even further. So you drew the high all-time high down to the previous low, make another line, and it retraces itself to high, and it goes lower. Okay, so there's a potential to go to about 9. You do this line, go down to about 9,700. So it goes low. However, once it hit this range, it can actually go down to 4,000 because hysteria, panic, or even lower. Okay, so you gotta consider that. Okay, you gotta consider hysteria, because if you take a look at let's look at the fear index. Look at the volatility here. Okay, so we already passed all these stages: euphoria, overconfidence, anxiety. I think we're in here at the denial phase. Okay, this is where a lot of people are buying on the dip. Deny, invest, ignored the warning signs as market demand weakens. I think a lot of folks are in denial. We've already passed anxiety. Once panic set in, prices plummet, and herd rushes to sell, it's gonna basically major crash into capitulation. Basically, everybody want to get out. Okay, I think we're at close to this right here. Okay, once it passed, it's already broke the 20. Okay, if there's another major event, which I think very likely will happen. Okay, that will break that 19 mark and go to the next level of this 10, 4 to 10 phase here, and then capitulation could go drop it down further. Okay, so I made a mistake when I didn't sell sooner. Obviously, I lost some money, but when I got out in this range, I didn't lose too much money. And I ignored one of the chart guys. I actually disagree with him. I went on his page, and now he made me like a fool. Because I thought the resistance at 30,000, that's where institutions are at, and that it would never, that's one of the deadly word never ever said, is that it's never going to drop down to the under 30,000 mark. So because of massive institutions. Okay, so I made a mistake in his disagreement that I've been learn. As you may or may not know, I follow him too as well, Garrett Soloway. I think you should follow him as well. He's more of a chart guy. Okay, chart right now is fundamentally should be listened to for everybody. Okay, you should listen to charts right now, data, fundamentals, not the talking heads at this juncture. But anyway, I didn't take up on his talk about dropping down, under 20,000, down to about 17. I think he predicted it, or forecasted it down to about 17,000. I ignored that, and sure enough, it dropped. I lost some money, but not as much because I sold out at the second. Obviously, I sold out under when it dropped 41, and I sold at that when it drop under that 30,000 mark. Okay, anyway, you may want to ask, you know, why this happening, why is there's some, this is my email. I get an email from some of the updates here. But anyway, let's take a look at this right here. Crypto markets tumbled this week as they have in the past. The difference this time is practically every other market fell too. That's because of the unprecedented mix of macroeconomic factors, from U.S. Federal Reserve hiking rates at the pace not seen in 3 decades to lingering effects of global pandemic unrest Europe. So as you can see there, guys, during the 2018 crash, it runs up and crash down all the way down to about 3,500. This is just crypto. This time around it's different, and I think it's going to be even massively more corrected, is because everything else crashes as well. You know, you're looking at the market, you know, S&P, Dow, everything crashes, okay? Not just crypto. And real estate soon will follow after the market crash, okay? So liquidity will get drawn out, and this will create a major bank run or crypto run, okay? And that's why I think this is by AMB Crypto. Tether with UST gone, USDT struggling, is USDT next. The big crypto bank Tether has been called in questions, okay? Has been raised. If Tether get a bank run, it's all over for Tether. Okay. So with USC mixed into the dust and UDT struggling to keep up, could Tether be the next in line for stablecoin massacre? The crypto market volatility has ramped up pressure stablecoin recently after Celsius froze account transaction. The coming days are showing trader pain, with markets struggling badly under tightened monetary conditions. The struggle is real. Global crypto market took a huge hit in the past week after falling well below 1 trillion market cap. This led rampant price dips across major cryptocurrency, with BTC falling to 20K, ETH to 1K, so on. Confidence in crypto remained depressed, and some traders are worried that Tether could suffer a similar fate as Terra UST stablecoin. Edward Moyer, senior market analyst at onTether, said too many institutional crypto investors are down massively, and they worry that if this part of the crypto ecosystem collapses, Tether will crash. Okay, so again, bank run or crypto run to Tether will crash Tether. Let's take a look at Tether on this CoinGecko here. Just a month ago, it's at around 83 billion. Currently, 68 billion, okay? So folks are pulling money out of Tether massively too. 83 to 68. That's $15 billion out of Tether. I don't know if Tether even have that amount backed on their outstanding Tether in circulation. But anyway, that's for another day. But here is another issues. If the Bitcoin continues to struggle, the price dip. I'll show you another clip by Pompliano. Which I think you should be aware of. Miners.
Obviously, if we go back to kind of Q1 of 2021,
miners are struggling right now. Miners is the source of Bitcoin, okay? And when they're struggling to pay the bills, and they get called on their margin, called on the loans, because the price of Bitcoin drops, they're forced to sell. And when they sell, it's going to add more pressure to selling pressure, okay? And that will in turn obviously crashing the price of Bitcoin, okay? But listen.
Mining was 65% in China and spread out the rest throughout the world. China banned it. We had a migration to the United States. I think the U.S. now is over 30% of all hash rate globally. Texas has like 10%, something like that. What are the ramifications of price going down for the miners? And should we expect any kind of pressure from them, or does this actually benefit them?
So this is another shoe to drop. I hate to tell you all, but miners have, like, public miners, if you add it up, they've got, go to like bitcointreasuries.com. They've got like 40, 50,000 Bitcoin sitting there. So they've got almost 1 tera's worth of Bitcoin. You know, there's a lot of Bitcoin they have because the public markets rewarded the miners that accumulate a lot of Bitcoin, didn't sell it. That was sort of the meta game. Get as much Bitcoin as possible, don't sell it. So it's a pro-cyclical phenomenon. It means that they make the bull markets steeper and the bear markets worse. The same thing happened in 2018. Miners, I think the last leg down in 2018 or 2019 to 3,000, I think that actually was miner selling driven. If you sort of like do the on-chain archaeology. Now, if you look on-chain, I know people say like on-chain has no alpha or whatever. Just look at it, guys. There's some interesting stuff there. Miners are selling. Well, you don't have to look on-chain. You could look at the
Balance sheets.
You look at the SEC blockchain, or like look at the SEC filings, right?
The SEC blockchain.
Yeah. It's all on a ledger somewhere.
Yeah.
So miners are selling their Bitcoin. They have a lot more Bitcoin to sell, and they're going to sell it for a number of reasons. A lot of them are out of business. They can't afford their next payment. They're just not going to exist in a year's time. So there can be insolvencies there. A lot of them are too highly levered, and they're not going to be able to pay their bills, whether it's power, or they're not going to be able to make interest payments, and they'll be out of business.
You hear that, guys? So miners, the next shoes to drop, because once the price pullback or price crash on Bitcoin, it's going to put a lot of pressure on them. They're not able to pay their basic needs for their business to operate. Obviously, they're going to get liquidated. Once they're liquidated, before they get liquidated, they'll sell or put the Bitcoin on the market. And they have a lot of Bitcoin, okay? So they're forced to sell. It's not that they want to sell, but they're forced to sell, like what this gentleman was saying, is that similar to 2019 when it crashed. So this will be the next domino to fall. I think it's already happening. And when that happens, Tether will be tinkering in line with that. So once this domino falls, if Tether falls, Bitcoin will drop massively. Okay, so if you're thinking about buying the dip, think again. Okay, more bad news will come. Again, I'm an optimist in Bitcoin, but also you got to be a realist at this juncture. Okay, don't put your head in the sand and thinking that unless, okay, it's 2018 right here. Let's look at this line. So it took a year for us to bottom out. So unless if you're long it for a year or more, if you don't need the money, or then do that. But I think for me, a year would be too long for me to have it keep going down, because there will be other opportunities out there, like stock market. Because imagine, guys, a year, and then it will take a long time to have it run up again. I mean, 2019, it took 3 years, 4 years for another run up. Okay, so now that the whole world economic is crashing down, so it will take much longer for crypto, for Bitcoin to materialize. So this run up it's good if it wasn't being pumped into this massively bubble, doing a more of a easy money monetarily wise. So I don't know the future for Bitcoin in the long run will be bright, but at this juncture, you're looking at 2 to 3 years out in the horizon in that timeline. Okay, so I don't, for me right now, when it's fall, it would drop that I think it'll bottom out, then I'll get back in again. But right now I am sitting on the sideline. I am on cash. I am massively on cash right now. I'm 9% cash. 5% Bitcoin, 5% gold. That's where I'm at, my position. 90 cash. Bitcoin more like, more DeFi, like AVAX, Thor project. That's most of my Bitcoin, Thor projects, and AVAX. So those are a few shoes to drop. I'm not a hater on crypto or anything. I'm still investing in it. Like I said, I'm about 5% on it, around there. But if you have the patience to wait that long, then do so. If not, then I wouldn't get back into this now, because the next shoes to drop would be the miner sell-off. Miner sell-off put a lot of pressure. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Tether, which is another stablecoin, which may not have that 82 billion backing that a lot of people put in questions right now. Let's get back to the Bitcoin miner again. These are some of the miners. These are some price that shut down price. I mean, they're not profitable once the price hit. Looks like 2 of these, close to 3 of these miners are almost out of non-profitable. But look at this margin here, guys. I mean, if it falls in this range, more miners are going to be forced to sell. Okay. So yeah, keep an eye on Tether. Okay, guys. If this shoes to drop, miners shoes to drop, which is happening right now. If this thing drop, it's a bad day for Bitcoin. Okay. And this will kick in. Panic will kick in, and then capitulation will start. Okay. So again, at this juncture, I say you follow, charts and data. Okay. And shout out to Garrett Soloway. Even though I didn't listen to him, and basically I lost money, but he's a chart guy, one of the guys that you should be following. Set motion aside, I just want to take my take on Bitcoin and crypto in general. It's what I find, which I'm a bull on the technology, but what I find is a lot of maxis out there that, and a lot of pump and dump out there too as well. I mean, it's all the space is filled with a lot of bad actors, in my opinion. Okay, shillings are, obviously I got caught up on it. Didn't follow my own advice by looking at some of the charts here, basic fundamental charts, and obviously I lost some money, but not as much as a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people get hurt, or got hurt so far, and more will come because they got in on the hype. A lot of these pump and dump, a lot of these shillings. Now, if you even speak with this realist, even with this happening as we speak, people are not waking up. I'm telling you. If you look on Twitter, folks are like, in 2000 such and such certain year, 2008, crypto's at 10, at 10, crypto at crash here, it goes up here. They still put out the price of you know, massively bull. Like they're still bullish on at this juncture, even though the price is crashing. And people, when they buy up here, man, it's not pretty. If you hold it at $20 Bitcoin, then you can say this is, this is nothing of a crash. Just imagine you crash out here, you know what I mean? Cash out here, or cash out in this range here if you buy it really low. And you can just massively buy it back here, okay? So even though when the plane is crashing, people still think that they're not pulling out parachutes. They're hanging on to the airplane, thinking that it's gonna go, it's gonna rocket up. Well, this time around, it's not gonna happen until the dust settle, until a regulator coming in, okay, which it will. So again, guys, this video is not meant to be doom and gloom, but seeing opportunities in it. Obviously, you can short, like Crypto Face is shorting, shorting the Bitcoin. There's other ways to short or buy options, put options on crypto, not specifically get onto the DEX, because I would not put in my opinion, I would not put my Bitcoin. Most of my holding right now is in hard wallet. I would not have any of my crypto on the exchanges right now. Okay, not even the some of the other wallet exchanges or the wallet holder. Okay, I have on a hard wallet. That's my. I have a link in the description on my to my on my Ledger wallet. Okay. Anyway, not meant to be a doom and gloom guy, but I want to tell you as being a realistic guy. Okay, because it's falling right now. You don't want to catch it on a falling knife. That's the old adage. Okay, never want to catch a falling knife. Hoping it's going to go up. There's some. It's going to go down. This time is different and worse because the whole market, global economy, is crashing down. Okay, so to put that in perspective, be safe out there. I know I know my channel is not getting a lot of hit because I'm not doing a lot of crypto. It's just because I see a lot of pump and dump. I don't want to add any types of feed into that craze, okay? But I want to put this video out there because the fundamentals, the chart, do not look pretty, especially what's shoes gonna drop, the miners, and then the potential tether is gonna go. Once that happens, it's capitulation gonna take place, and potentially a great buying opportunity to get back into the Bitcoin. Okay, and whichever still standing, here's the caveat. After this capitulation, whichever project still standing, it instantly getting a check mark for withstanding one of the worst economic crises. Okay, and then you should be invested. I mean, not a financial advice, but I would be. All my videos is entertainment and education only. But if I was me, that's what I would do is put in some position in those projects, those coin or whatever that had withstand after all this settle. Okay, so look out for those. Those are opportunities for people. Okay, once the dust settle though, because this is not looking good. I mean, to the low it's 3,500. Okay, it can go down this low once panic set in, anxiety. Okay, so it looks like it, you know, it broke the 2018 high, so it's not looking good. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm out. Cheers.